What's up everyone, this is iCrazyTeddy. Welcome back to another video here on my channel today. Damn, that was really fast. I can say my intro 10 times faster than that, but this video I'm going to try and speak a little bit slower than I usually would. This is part 2 of the crazy snow day that happened, where I'm going to be going through day 2 out of 3. In this one, someone really did get hurt, so for the third day we actually stayed indoors. If you guys haven't seen the first part of this snowy massacre story, then check out the link in the description. This actually happened a couple years ago. I do want to mention that we are very immature, and of course we were young at the time. Anything and almost everything that I mention in these story videos is my best recollection of a certain event, and for the most part I regret a lot of things I did do in my childhood, and I'm like, why the hell did I not, focus or do something better? But yeah, life goes on. There's something that I did really well, and of course others that I do regret. If you guys would like more story videos here on my YouTube channel, I think I might do a weekly series of this, then leave a like. Like ratings for YouTubers let us know that you guys enjoy a certain type of content and we post more of it. And if this becomes something that you guys want to see on a weekly basis, let me know down below in the comment section. I always see these YouTubers that are like, oh, like ratings and views don't really matter to me and I would post regardless of how many, like, who are you trying to kid? Like, you're just lying to yourself. If a video did shit for you, you wouldn't post the exact same content again and again because your subs would just get tired of it. But yeah, let's actually get into this story video. That was a little rant, I'm sorry. And I'm actually going to try and project my words to the best of my ability, because in my previous one, I did speak really fast and I was about to speak really fast again there for a second, but I stopped myself. So firstly, I just want to break up two things. During the snowstorm, there was actually a group of us banded together of people from 2 different groves. We had the guys from the outside, which were a little bit more, I would say, on the anti-social behavior side, and then there was us, which I would say was just devious almost. So there was a bunch of people, I would say 5 or 6 other people from another estate or group or grove or whatever, and then there was about 10 of us from our own community. And I mentioned in the first part of this video, which once again, if you haven't checked out, be sure to do so, that we were vandalizing cars almost. We were standing on the corner of the street throwing snowballs at oncoming vehicles. I also mentioned people in the neighboring houses did of course observe this. There were some parents outside asking what the hell we were doing and blah blah blah. We didn't really care. So now that day 1 is over, you of course heard the story of the crazy woman that came after us, as well as the taxi which we vandalized crazily and broke the wing mirror off of. Day 2 is here, and we're down to do the exact same thing, despite all the crazy things that happened on the first day. So now day 2 started, we have a couple really nice encounters. Since there wasn't many cars on the road, people would literally just stop in the middle of the road and park their cars and start having snowball fights with us, because hell, it was a fun thing to do. There was a bunch of lads out and we were just having a blast, to say the least. Now one of the guys who lives right next to where we were doing this, towards the end of the grove, one of the last houses, or he's actually the last house, he actually decided to come out and watch us for a while. And of course some of us were getting a little bit more aggressive when snowballing cars and stuff like that, and he decided to come over to us and kind of make a complaint and tell us to stop. And of course, us being a bunch of teenagers, we just laughed at him. We told him, listen buddy, we're dismissing you, get the hell out of here, we don't care what you have to say, let us have our fun, because the snow only lasts for a couple days. It's not like we're going to be standing in front of your house for the rest of our lives, and plus we're not saying anything to you anyway. So this guy, goes back into his house, goes straight upstairs to the top window, and we could see him watching us for like an hour straight, throwing snowballs at cars and shit. So time goes by, and an hour later, an ice cream van actually drives up, and we're like, what the hell is an ice cream van doing in the middle of winter while it's snowing and there's barely any cars out? And long behold, we see our little 50-year-old virgin friend come down the stairs. He leaves his post at the window where he was literally stalking and watching us for like 2 hours straight, throwing snowballs at cars. And he's like, you know what? I want to buy an ice cream today. And as this guy actually came out his doorstep, we were of course standing on the pavement or the sidewalk right outside his house, and a couple of us on the other side of the street. He warned us, and it's like yesterday's story, but it's a lot worse in terms of the shit that went down right after. So he warns us, he's like, I know what you guys are up to, you're all little devils in my eyes and all this crazy shit. And he's walking in his slippers and a t-shirt in the middle of a freaking snowstorm to go and collect an ice cream, which everyone was laughing about. We were cracking up. We were like, what the hell is this clown doing? And I shit you not, and I'm sorry for the bad language, but everyone started calling him a dickhead. Everyone was like, dickhead, you dickhead. It became a chant at that moment in time. I'm not sure why. We just started calling him a dickhead because it's the middle of winter. There's a snowstorm going on, and this guy's going in his slippers and in a t-shirt to go and collect ice cream. So what we're calling this guy a dickhead, he's collecting his ice cream. One of our friends, one of the more devious friends from our side or from our grove, he's actually about to leave because his mum wants to go to the grocery store. And listen to what happens next. This guy grabs a snowball. Everyone around us is just watching. And we all like, no, dude, don't do it. Don't throw the snowball. Like, this guy has came down. He's threatened us. I'm pretty sure he even tried to grab one of the guys. And that shit's scary. To be a teenager and to be almost grabbed by a man. Like, what the hell? And this guy's just clenching his snowball in his hand, making it bigger and bigger, grabbing more snow from the floor, rolling it up to the point where it's a decent sized snowball. Like if that hits someone, they'd probably be concussed and shit. And everyone's like, no, don't do it, don't do it. And then, of course, there's me standing there like, yes, do that shit, boy, do that shit. So the way the ice cream van was facing, we couldn't actually hit the guy directly because he was on the other side of the street and the little open bit that you have in the ice cream van was on the opposite side to where we couldn't really see the guy properly. But yo, me whispering in this dude's ear like, throw that shit, while everyone else is like, don't. And since this guy was a little bit older than us, some of the youngers actually started making snowballs and stuff and getting ready to throw them. And on the count of 3, everyone threw their snowballs. All the kids who made their snowballs, they literally hit the ice cream van like dead on. But this guy, the big dude, his went right past the windscreen, smacked off the end of the windscreen and broke into like 3 different chunks of snow and hit the guy who was ordering his ice cream in his t-shirt and his freaking slippers right in the face. You could literally see snow covered on his face because it hit off the ice cream van's windscreen. And the timing was perfect because he was taking a peep over to see why all the kids were screaming, why was there a commotion, because we did a 3 to 1 countdown before throwing it. And as he was peeping his little head over, boom, snow all over his face, all over his glasses. I remember this shit like it was yesterday. What was the next thing he did? He threw his ice cream on the floor because he had that shit in his hand. He threw that shit on the floor. He wiped his face. He took off his glasses with one hand and he came running. He literally came running at us. And from the corner of my eye, as I noticed this guy running towards us, I was panicking. I straight up turned around and I saw the dude who actually threw the snowball. His mother was here to pick him up at the end of the grove. So he gets into his car merrily, drives along. He's on his way. You know, none of the blame's gonna go towards him. He's out. He wasn't even there. Like, who the hell is he anymore? This dude's out of the picture. He literally just violated the man who was buying ice cream. The guy who almost grabbed one of our mates before. And now this dude's out of the picture. So we got this angry guy chasing us. The guy who actually threw the snowball that hit the guy in the face has now left the premises off to do some grocery shopping with his mom's. And this guy's running towards us. And as he reaches the middle of the road, boom, he falls, he slips. And everyone turns around because we hear a thud and everyone's laughing so freaking hard. Like, this guy was pissed the way he took off his glasses, the way he dipped up the hill a little bit. But as soon as he got to the middle of the road, bang! He face planted onto the ground. Well, not really face planted because he got his elbows in the way. I'm not sure why he wouldn't put his hands in the way, but he landed on his elbows. And we were standing there laughing. And as this guy got up, all you saw was a bunch of blood all down his arms. Dripping down his arms was blood. Because he didn't land on candy floss. He didn't land on cotton candy. And since there were a couple cars going down the road, that snow was turned into ice and it was hardened, especially in like the middle of the road. This guy was bleeding all over his arms. And from there, we literally dipped. Like, we didn't want anything to do with anyone getting assaulted. We didn't want to get beat up by this guy. There was blood dripping down his arms. There's blood all over the ice on the floor. And that kind of concludes the end of this story. But it doesn't finish there because an hour later, we stopped all this nonsense. We stopped snowballing cars. We actually went back and spoke to the guy and we explained that, you know, that wasn't meant to be our purpose. We weren't actually, you know, physically trying to harm anyone by snowball fighting because, you know, it's a simple enough concept. You're throwing snowballs at each other, not rocks. And, you know, it's not World War III or anything. But we apologized to him. It was a sincere enough apology, but one thing that we did actually do was we blamed one of the guys from the other grove. So we didn't blame our friend who actually threw the snowball, got into his mom's car and dipped. We blamed one of the dudes from the other estate or the other grove, making their area look bad. Which, of course, for the most part, when adults come out, we try and act a lot more civilized and a lot more mannered than we normally are. And you guys probably have done that in the past. You know, there's a bunch of dudes messing about, playing around, and you see an elder walk by or someone's parent, and you literally act chill like nothing's happening, while you're low-key doing some crazy shit like drugs. I mean, no, not drugs. I didn't say that. Hopefully, none of you guys are doing drugs. But, yo, that was the video itself. Once again, we did apologize to the guy. Since then, we haven't really had any problems with the guy. You know, we got to know him and he's kind of chill with what he said. And of course, we shifted the blame on the other dudes, which left us looking innocent, like just a bunch of innocent kids snowballing. When in fact, you guys have heard my story now and you know that actually wasn't happening. So drop a thumbs up if you guys did enjoy. Let me know in the comment section if you'd like to see more story videos. Subscribe to my channel if you are new, and peace out.